This is a project to develop a three-dimensional QR code component which can be used in Revit for tagging objects or spaces. It's based on the version 3 of the QR code, which is composed of 841 pixels in a 29 by 29 grid and allows us to encode up to 77 alphanumerical characters depending on the error correction level. If we open the QR code component file, we can see that it's composed of a series of nested elements, each one representing an individual pixel. If we open the nested pixel component, we can see that it's a simple cubic object with an X, Y and Z type parameter value to control its size and an instance parameter to manage the material affected to the pixel object. I'll close the nested pixel file and return to the QR code component. If I come into the reference level and select the first pixel component, we can see that its material parameter is associated to 029001 mat, and if I come along to the last pixel, we can see that its material parameter is associated to 029841 mat. And if I open the Family Types dialog box, we can see the 841 material instance parameters. I've got some predefined materials in the component file that I'll be using later with the Dynamo scripts, and I'll apply some of them now to demonstrate how the QR code object works. So we can see that we can change individual pixels by applying different materials, and I will be automating this process later on with a Dynamo script. So I'll close the component file and go into the file where the component is hosted. We can see the QR code component is completely white here. I'm going to run a Dynamo script to test the pixels. This script will apply a white material to all of the odd numbered pixels and black to the even numbered ones, which should result in an even checker pattern if everything is okay. That seems to be okay. So now I'll run another Dynamo script with which we should be able to encode the component with some alphanumerical characters and retrieve them with a QR code reader. My alphanumerical chain is down on the left here, so I'll try running this. And we can see that the script has configured the component with the QR code data. To verify the data, I'll take my phone now and try reading the QR code with my camera, and if I read the text, we can verify the string that was input by the Dynamo script. Now I'll demonstrate an application of the QR code component. I have loaded onto my phone a floor plan of an apartment in which all the rooms have been associated to a QR code component. The QR code component stocks the building name, the level, the apartment number and the room name as an alphanumerical code. The fields are separated by a colon. I'm going to use this floor plan and the QR code components to conduct a photographic survey of some rooms and then use a Python script to organise the survey photos into specific folders in function of the QR code data. So I'll just zoom into the QR code for the first room, and once it's in focus, I'll do a screen capture on the phone. Next, I'll take a couple of photos for this room. I move to the next room, zoom into the QR code in the plan and do a screenshot. Then a couple of photos, and so on for the next rooms. Now I'm going to transfer the screen captures and the photos from my phone onto a temporary folder on my computer. If we sort the photos by date and time, we can see that for each room we have a screenshot of a QR code, then the corresponding photos for that room, and so on for each room. I'm going to run a Python script now which will sort the screenshots and photos by date, read each QR code to extract the building name, the level, the apartment number and the room name. It will then construct a folder structure for each room and move each photo to its corresponding folder. This is an example using 6 photos, however on a real visit we may be coming back to the office with up to 500 photos, which can be a very time consuming exercise to sort correctly.